Checking in with Anthony and Glenn is brought to you by HD Supply.
It's checking in with Anthony and Glenn, teaching you to be the hotelier that you wanna be. It's checking in with Anthony and Glenn.
Hey, Anthony, how are you today?
Glenn, I'm Anthony Melchiorri, and it's great to be here.
And I'm Glenn Haussman, and I love being here too. And Anthony, I love how you bring the energy to each and every show that we record with each other.
Energy. You know what? You know where I get my energy from?
Yeah?
Just living a good, clean life, Glenn. Just living a good, clean life, man. Just going to sleep, get my 8 hours, eating protein, going to the gym, being a happy person, and just being around you, brother.
Yeah, man. I get a lot of energy from you. I love doing this show with you because we really feed off of each other. It's great. Usually everyone's like, I'm the one who brings the energy to these things. I get told that all the time. You got so much energy. But I feel like it pales in comparison compared to the burst of sunshine you are.
You know what? I've never had a bad day in my life.
Yeah, you tell me that all the time.
Never had a bad day in my life.
Well, you know, even days when you have bones sticking out of your legs.
Never had a bad day in my life. Even that day.
Yeah. So, Anthony, you know, one of the things that I wanna talk with you about today is the whole idea of rating systems. I feel as if we've been conditioned to think that all rating systems are equal. They're all the same. They all have the same sort of meaning. As I've gotten older in the last 10, 15 years or so, I think that's a load of bunk.
Well, explain when you say rating systems, because some people may not know what you're talking about.
All right. Well, we've got these rating systems out there to help us understand the experiences that we're theoretically supposed to have at hotels or restaurants or even a movie that you're supposed to see, right? So speaking specifically to the hotel industry, though, there's been multiple rating systems over the year, and new ones have come and other ones have gone, and things have changed. But I don't think our perception of what rating systems are and what they really mean or how they should be interpreted has really remained the same since that mobile travel guide came into being in like the 1950s.
Well, mobile travel guide, believe it or not, still is out there and it still actually works.
Yeah, now known as Forbes.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, and Forbes is absolutely one of the best companies. I love Forbes Travel Guide. But I'll tell you when it all changed. Everything in our rating system and everything in our travel experience changed on this day. The day that my supervisor at the Lucerne Hotel came in with a box of comment cards and said, hey, here are the comment cards. So I'm looking through all the comment cards, and I'm like, oh, all right, thank you very much. Reading them all positive comment cards. We had a good hotel. We have positive comment cards. And I had a meeting, and I took the box of comment cards, and I praised everyone. And I said, well, the comment cards don't matter anymore because there's something called TripAdvisor.
Right.
Oh, that won't last, blah, blah, blah. What is that? Nobody's going I think, no, TripAdvisor is going to change the world. And I'll tell you why it's going to change the world. It's going to change it because you can't throw bad comment cards in the garbage anymore. Because I'm sure there's a lot of comment cards never made it to my desk. Because when someone writes a bad comment card and they leave it in the room, and a housekeeper or a front desk person happens to see it, they throw it away, especially if their name's on it.
Oh, yeah, that's a great point. I never, ever thought of that.
Oh, my God, they're going to throw it away. And they did throw it away all the time.
Right.
And you never got bad comment cards. And I knew it would change, and I embraced it so much. Like, I can't tell you how many times I'm in meetings, whether it be earlier on or now, where people are just so upset that people have this much control over our industry, and it's so transparent. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing in the world. It's like, yes, tell me I suck. Please tell me I suck, because I don't want to suck. Tell me I'm wonderful. I don't care about being wonderful. I just care about sucking because I don't want to suck. So I don't really care about all the praise that I get on these review sites.
Right.
I care about, tell me where I'm not hitting the mark. That's just the way I'm wired.
Right.
So I can see 1,000, hey, attaboys are great, but I'm just like, we suck? Okay, great. I'm not mad. But let's suck less tomorrow. Let's do our homework and let's figure out why. Well, it's the guest's fault. Oh, I love that when people say it's the guest's fault. Yeah, sometimes it's the guest's fault.
Well, there's always going to be a-hole jerks, but the whole idea is you have to recognize what's legitimate and what's not legitimate, and then make the changes based on real, legitimate, honest feedback.
I get the question all the time, what do you think about TripAdvisor? What do you think about these online reviews? And I'm like, I love them. They're like, well, you think there's some bogus reviews out there? I said, yeah,
Of course.
I go, but you know what? Name any hotel in New York City. Any hotel in New York City, And I guarantee you, I can guess their rating on online, on whether it be TripAdvisor, Google, whatever. I guarantee I can get close to their rating, or at least give you a review that will be indicative of the average review online. So they work. They absolutely work. But more importantly, it changed our industry and changed the rating system. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you have a 5-star hotel that has a 3-star rating online, would you go to that hotel, or would you rather go to a 3-star hotel that has a 5-star rating?
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's completely right. Within the context of the TripAdvisor environment, that makes complete sense to me. And I think that since we've democratized the whole idea of the review process and put it up online, it's fundamentally changed the way that hoteliers should respond to reviews and the way that customers should think about the review process. Let's go back a little bit to those mobile travel guides and the big standard AAA, right? AAA is not based on opinions. It's based on a giant checklist of things that all add up to a particular rating that they have. I'm not a fan of it because it's not reflective of how me, Glenn Haussman, likes to stay in hotels. It's not relevant to my lifestyle. And the whole idea that you cannot ever, under any circumstances, achieve a 5-star rating because you don't have a phone in the bathroom totally discounts that to me. AAA, I'll praise them for what they've done in setting the standards and up there, it's really only a guide for you to understand the services and amenities you're going to get, not necessarily the experience you're going to have. I had the good fortune many, many years ago of spending a day with a AAA guy. And it was a lot of fun. You know, he had all these files in the trunk of his car, and he had a little computer in the front seat of his car, and he was typing away and getting out these files, and we'd go into a hotel, and we'd do the inspection. He even put on the white gloves and ran his hand over the top of the picture frames for dust and all of that kind of stuff. Really cool, really fun. I don't really give an F if there's a little bit of dust on top of a picture frame. It's not gonna affect my stay.
Well, I care very much if there's.
Well, you're a hotelier. I'm a guest.
Top of a picture frame. But more importantly, what I think you said that was absolutely on point is that checklist doesn't reflect the way people travel.
And it penalized those mid-scale hotels from ever achieving a 5-star status and getting to the place that you said, a 5-star experience in a 3-star box.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
On the AAA ratings, on 3-4 stars, do they rate service?
I don't think that I don't really recall exactly how they relate service. I don't think they do because I've never seen anyone order a cup of coffee to the room and wait to see how it's delivered.
No, so that always fascinates me.
It's on the quality of the carpet.
You don't evaluate service,
right?
The most important thing that a hotel can offer you. So it's really, really surprising to me. But one of the things I wanted to get back to real quick is that the system has changed and put the power back in the customer's hand where it belongs. Okay?
Right.
Power to the people, man. This is democracy, and when you have power, that's what gets things changed. Whether you like politics, don't like politics, get out and vote. And get out and change what you think needs to be changed or don't. Same thing with the review system. When you vote on that hotel is great or that hotel sucks. Mm-hmm. We pay attention.
Right.
And you know what's so funny, though? The really good hotels pay attention. The really crappy hotels don't.
I wonder why they're really crappy.
Right. But it really helped us become better.
Right.
Like the A, B, and C ratings in the restaurant business in New York City and California. I think it's made restaurants better.
Yeah.
And made them cleaner and made them healthier.
I agree. I was in Seattle a couple of weeks ago, and they have a different system. Instead of A, B, C, F, they have great, good, excellent, all with different smiley faces, kind of like how you're seeing pop up in airport bathrooms now, right? And the whole idea of going to a place that's either a B or a good, I don't want to go to those places, and I don't really care about the nuances of why they got that. I just know that if it's not the best, I'm not going to spend my money there.
Yeah, why should you? And by the way, those smiley faces I saw in Norway airport 3 years ago.
Yeah, I saw them in China 4 years ago.
Yeah, and I was like, man, America, we don't always get the best technology.
No, but we're really best at thinking we're the most awesomest at everything.
Oh my God, dude, that has changed me so much in the last couple of years. Growing up, being in the military, I'm like, and I love America. I think America is the greatest country on earth. Period. End of story. However, there are so many great, creative, wonderful people, traditions around the world that you can that I just find fascinating. Oh, talk about Oh, you know what? You're going to, at the end of the show, you're going to say, tell me something I don't know.
I'm going to
And you're going to remind me.
All right.
Okay? Just remind me of something they do in Albania that blew my brains out.
All right. All right.
I'm not going to tell you in the middle of the show.
All right. And speaking of the middle of the show, I think it's a great time to take a break and hear from our awesome sponsor. And we're going to be right back after this.
Hospitality professionals rely on HD Supply facilities and maintenance for the day-to-day maintenance of their engineering departments, housekeeping supplies, as well as their capital expenditure renovations. And why? Because they're reliable and they've been around for decades. They have over 100,000 products and they have a nationwide distribution system. They have an amazing dedicated sales representation force, and they have the tools, technology, and specialized services to make your hotel spectacular.
Hey everybody, Glenn here. So listen to this. Cobblestone Hotels is celebrating their 10th anniversary, and man, have they accomplished a lot in the last decade. Already they have more than 150 hotels throughout the United States, but they're in smaller and medium-sized markets. Those markets that the big franchise companies, they're underserving, they're overlooking, and in some cases just ignoring. But Cobblestone is an expert in these markets. And their president and CEO, Brian Wagernes, listen, I've gotten to know him in the last 10 years, and he has worked every job possible, including being an owner and operator. I can personally vouch for how awesome this company is, how awesome he is as an individual, because he understands the importance of finding the right combination of hotel brand and franchise owner. He's also an incredibly dedicated professional. Whether it's a Cobblestone Hotel and Suites Main Street design, Borders Inn and Suites, or one of the newly acquired brands such as Boulders Inn and Suites, Key West Inns, Centerstone Inns and Suites, Cobblestone has brands that range from economy to upper mid-tier, and one that's right for you. Quite simply, Cobblestone Hotels is the franchise for franchise owners. Patrick Mullenix, well, he's Cobblestone's new president of franchise development. Give him a call or check out their website at cobblestonefranchising.com. But give Patrick a call. He's a great guy. I've known him for a really, really long time, too. You can find him at 920-216-0620. That's cobblestonefranchising.com. And tell him Glenn sent you. Welcome back. Thank you so much, sponsor. I really appreciate you supporting us each and every week here on the show, making it possible for us to bring great information to all of our listeners out there. So let's get back to that reviews.
So as a hotelier or a business person, as an entrepreneur, you have to embrace the customer. You have to embrace their opinion, their perspective. So even when they're wrong, deal with it, right? Just take it, say yes, sir, no, sir, I don't know, sir. Move on and just get better from it. Because when you have up to the second evaluation on your behavior as a business, but that's invaluable. It's absolutely invaluable. I mean, the secret shopper is important. In a lot of businesses, you use secret shoppers, and it's a very important tool. But you have secret shoppers every single day. They're called customers, and they have no problem going online. And then people say, well, only the bad people write reviews. No, 90% of all reviews online are good reviews. So that's bullshit. Run your business, and don't worry about that they have control over maybe putting you out of business tomorrow. Because if you're worrying about that, you're going to go out of business tomorrow. So the review system, although I think are very important, especially Forbes Travel. Forbes Travel is really bringing the service and bringing the level of the standard up. So I think Forbes Travel is doing a great job in conjunction with the reviews online. So you see it's a Forbes Travel 4-star, 5-star, and they have 5-star reviews online. That's the hotel to go to. And there's another thing that the review system that they use, it's called the friend review system. Okay? My friend loved this vacation, so I'm going to love this vacation. No. You know how many people I know say, oh, my friend said this was a great island, great vacation, great resort, and they didn't enjoy it because you may not be the same as your friend. Well, you may have a different personality.
Well, that's a problem that I have with a lot of online reviews, and I look at through the context of food. I see Yelp and what's happening with Yelp. I think it's a great tool to find new and interesting places. However, I also think about how I like to eat and what I bring to the table, wink, wink, nudge, nudge here. And I think about my friends and family and my family's friends and how they interact with food and who I trust and who I don't trust. My mom had an amazing friend who's since passed away, but she was a foodie before there were foodies, and she always had the best restaurant choices. And anytime she made a recommendation to our family, we took it up. We had to go have that place. Now, there are a lot of other people in our lives that were not equally on par with either their love for great cuisine or their knowledge base to understand what great food actually is. And I learned whether or not to trust certain people, whether or not to trust other people. So I look at reviews skeptically when it comes to Yelp or even TripAdvisor, and you have to kind of read between the lines to understand what type of person they are, what those expectations they have are, and whether or not they were met, and then put it into the larger context of whether those expectations met your expectations. And I think that really is the trick to this new world of online reviews that we have out right now, is who can you really trust to give a great great review, and who should you not listen to because they're looking at it in a different context or a different point of view.
In the classroom in 4th grade, when they give you a calculator,
right?
They didn't give you a brain. They didn't take your brain out. They just gave you a calculator to help you, right? You still got to think. You still got to put the formulas together. Same thing with reviews. Your review system isn't giving you a brain or isn't telling you how to think. It's giving you your other people's opinion. People have to use their common sense. I instantly look at a review or look at a bunch of reviews, and I instantly know just by a combination of my likes and dislikes if this is the restaurant for me. So if somebody says, another thing, when I look at a review, I look at is it an opinion, and is it a service related? Or is it they lost my reservation, or they stole my credit card? Or now, if you see they stole your credit card 100 times, of course you're not going to say that. There's a problem.
There's no middle ground there, no gray area.
They lost my reservation. The room wasn't ready at 3 o'clock. It's like, I don't give a shit. I see one of those reviews out of 100. So what?
Yeah,
it's going to happen. So you have to use your common sense. It's the feeling that you get from reading these reviews.
Well, the first thing that I do is I take the ice skating Olympic perspective. I ignore the lowest reviews, and I ignore the most over the top positive reviews.
Well, that's a good point. It's the feeling I get from the writing of the reviews. But listen, I think nowadays reviews systems are important, but the review systems online are just important. But you have to be an educated consumer. You have to be able to know how to read a review. So when I go online and I see a hotel and it has 1,000 great reviews, and then it should be in the top 10% of all reviews in the city. So if you go to New York City and there's 680 reviews, hotels on TripAdvisor, and you're looking at number, 50, and you're like, I don't want to stay in the 50th best hotel in New York City. The 50th best hotel in New York City,
pretty darn good hotel.
It's a pretty damn good hotel. Okay, because really the first 200 are really good hotels. There's so many of them, and they're so high quality. There's a lot of good hotels. So if it's in top 10%, so if there's 680, if it's in top 68, I'm staying in that
I'm not
hotel.
staying in the 50th best hotel in Ottumwa, Iowa, for example.
Right, 100%. So that's number one. Number two is so I'm in the 50th best hotel in New York City, so there's going to be 2,000 great reviews, 100 maybe good reviews, 30 average, and then 10 terrible. I always look at the terrible first because I want to see if the 10 terrible are recent. I want to see if there's a bed bug problem. I want to see if they're going through a renovation. I want to see if their restaurant's closed. So if I saw only 10 bad reviews, but 7 of them happened in the last month, that means change of management. That means maybe renovation. That's a problem. So you have to learn how to look at reviews. You have to learn how to be an educated consumer.
Yeah, that's right. So how can hoteliers think about the reviews that they get to understand whether or not there's a legitimate pattern, or just there are people who are not knowledgeable enough to really be posting reviews that have learnable feedback?
Yeah, if I have to teach a general manager how to know which reviews make sense for his hotel and which are lies, that general manager should be fired instantly. You put me in a hotel, and within 24 hours, I know that hotel pretty well, and I know my team. And I just feel it. It's like having a relationship with a person. You have a immediate I like or don't like this hotel. I like or don't like this person. And so if I have to tell a general manager, well, this is how you should consider reviews when reviewing your hotel. Yeah, there's people that do that. There's companies that do that. You're an asshole and you shouldn't be running a hotel. It's like I can look at reviews and I know which ones are full of shit. I know my team. I know how good they are. I know how bad they are. And so if I see a review and they say, the eggs in the morning of Holiday Inn Express, right? If I was running Holiday Inn Express, the eggs in the morning, they're powdery and they're not great. I know they aren't. They don't have the greatest eggs. But if you tell me Holiday Inn Express, they're not doing a great job and they're not doing great service and they don't have comfortable beds, you're full of shit, because I've been to 50 of them and they're all amazing products.
Right.
But the one thing I would say is their eggs aren't great. And anybody I ever speak to about Holiday Inn Express, and I'm the biggest fan ever.
Yeah, it's not necessarily specifically Holiday Inn Express you're talking about.
No, and just in general.
Yes.
Just in general. That's just in case somebody else wants to advertise on our
We love you, IHG.
No, everywhere. I love IHG. I love everybody.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I'm just using that as my experience because that's what we travel when we do the show. We go to the Holiday Inn Express. So if somebody says to me the eggs suck at Holiday Inn Express, it's like, yep.
Yeah, no
agree.
doubt.
They have to get better. But in general, it's good. So in other words, you need to know your hotel. And if I have to tell you how to integrate the reviews into your hotel to understand how to use them to get your hotel to be better, then you suck.
Right. Here's the thing. This has nothing to do with reviews, but I got to tell you, breakfasts, the free comp breakfast at hotels, they generally suck.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said there's a few outstanding ones that when you get a little bit higher up the charts. I love Embassy Suites' cook-to-order breakfast, for example. But if it's just a lot of stuff in those big troughs of food, it's typically not going to be all that great. I feel it's become such an important thing to the hotel community. Guests expect it. But I don't really think people are, well, at least I'm not really being satisfied by it. The people I think are satisfied by the types of breakfasts that are served at hotels are the types of people that I'm not going to listen to their restaurant reviews on Yelp.
I agree with you 100%. I'm a simple eater when it comes to breakfast.
I just want a banana.
I want a boiled egg. I want a bottle of water. Maybe I want a little bit of oatmeal and I'm good. But I agree with you. And it's really so different. The best continental, or actually I should say the best breakfast I've ever had in a hotel, I believe it was an Omni in Vietnam.
Really?
I didn't want to leave. They had such a mixture of the Vietnamese breakfast and an American breakfast, a European breakfast. It was like a Sunday brunch at the Plaza Hotel back in the 80s.
Yes. Oh, my God. It's so funny you should just say Sunday brunch, because as you were talking about how great this meal was in Vietnam, I was thinking about when I was in Beijing. I was at a Best Western. It was a Best Western Plus, I believe it was. And the buffet they had.
Great brand, by the way.
Yeah. The buffet that they had was definitely like that Sunday brunch that you would spend $40, $50 to. They had all these amazing, authentic Chinese dishes that I wouldn't necessarily consider just breakfast food. It was all day food and American staples to appeal to us incoming travelers. I was blown away by it. Totally different when you're traveling overseas to the breakfast than you get in a traditional mid-market domestic hotel.
Well, our mutual friend Ron Paul from Best Western, who runs Best Western,
COO.
Well, thank you very much for saying that. And no, it's a great product and great brand, and they're really making tremendous improvements. But listen, at the end of the day, the reviews online are critical to the overall success of your business. The reviews from a review system is important to know where you're going and to know the quality of your amenities, the quality of your building in comparison to your competition. But really the heart and soul of your industry, or I should say of your hotel, are what guests are saying about you.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And you need to be able to reflect on what they're saying, take a good, honest look at yourself, and see whether or not you're at fault. And it's okay if you are, but you need to be smart enough and have the wherewithal to make the changes in order to be successful. You can't discount when a group of people are saying something bad about you.
Am I the only person that likes when people tell me I can improve on something? If it's done in a really positive way, I honor it so much. When it's like, Anthony, you talk too much, or Anthony, you do this, or Anthony, you come in the room and you take up all the energy, or Anthony, this or that or the other thing. And then I can make a decision whether I want to do that and continue to do that, and I'm going to do it. And if you don't like me, you don't like me. Or I'm going to adjust my personality. I'm going to adjust my management style. And so you made a very good point. It's just like, just suck it up, man. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Well, I think that a key to highly successful people, such as yourself, is that you are able to take that negative feedback and interpret whether or not it's a true criticism or somebody's full of shit, right? And if it is true criticism, then you absolutely must, as part of our human experience, incorporate that internally and make those changes. Even if it's just learning a skill set. I was never, at one point in my life, I didn't come out of the womb able to talk on a microphone or being able to give keynote speeches on stage or host panels on stage. I had to learn that skill set, and it took a long time for me to do that. And if I had only listened to myself, I would not have been able to achieve the level of success that I've been able to achieve because I don't really know what I'm doing. I had to learn it over time. So I had people that I trusted that would say, Glenn, you're talking too fast, or Glenn, you're not listening enough. Those types of tips and incorporating into them and taking that journey to become better every single time that I open my mouth in a public forum and getting that feedback in order to make sure that occurred was essential to my growth. And it's the same thing with your growth as a hotelier. If you're a general manager, to learn from where your weaknesses are and to fight back internally to make them into positives. Some of the greatest strengths I have were my strongest weaknesses when I was young.
That's good to know.
Yeah, right?
I can't agree with you more. I mean, it seems like common sense to me, but common sense isn't so common.
No, I'm starting to learn that stuff that really makes sense inside my head is not necessarily stuff that everybody talks about or everybody thinks about.
And one of the things, and we've said this before, millennials, and iPhones, and everybody's on tablet. You know what? I think technology is making this world better. I think eventually it'll all work out, right, and my kids won't grow up to be mass murderers, and just because they have an iPhone. With that said,
one of my sons might, because he has an Android. But that's
with that said, what I will say is that we don't have attention spans. We want everything instantly, and that's scaring me a little bit. So how do I modify that in my own family, in my own business, and in my own behavior? Is because we just want instant gratification. I've learned even myself. I want answers immediately.
Yeah, that's another thing that I had to fight in my life, is that whole notion of instant gratification, because instant gratification is your enemy. It is going to make you make poor decisions in your life. I used to be very focused on instant gratification when I was a teenager in particular, right? I didn't really have any long-term vision of who I wanted to be and what I should be doing with my life. Not in the giant concept, but just in, I had $50 in my pocket and I'd spend it immediately, and I'd spend it on stupid stuff. I didn't need that CD that was $18.99 in 1989. It was a complete waste of money. But in the moment, I needed to feed that beast that was demanding that instant gratification. And I spent a hard number of years really fighting against that and trying to break down that college debt that I had, that I self-created, because anytime I'd feel bad about myself, I needed that instant gratification, and I would go and buy stuff. And now I don't need to own anything. I just want to have a good meal, hang out with my family, and try to save some bucks.
I think that just comes from, experience, right? You start to learn that. So I think we're coming to the end of the podcast.
I think we are, but I think the one lesson I want to go before I start having you tell me what I don't know is that when you're younger, you have to learn all of these things. And I think that there's a problem in our society that there's not enough great mentors out there to give you these shortcuts, right? And that's one of the things that I really hope that we can achieve with this show over time, is helping people learn those lessons a lot quicker than you and I ever did. Because I want to help these folks take years off of their success journey to achieve success quicker, not have that instant gratification, but give them the tools to achieve it quicker.
I think it's a personality. And I think what I'm finding is there are many mentors, and people it's like asking a person for directions. They want to give you directions. They're out of breath giving you directions. So when you ask somebody, so how did you, or how do I, or give me your secrets, or tell me your experience. People want to talk about themselves. So it's about the person, whether it be a college student, a high school student. Like I said, I get DMs all the time, and people say, hey, Anthony, I want to talk to you. I give my number, and we talk for an hour sometimes.
That's great.
I can't remember their name. I've never seen their face, and I'll never talk to them again probably. But they called me. They have an essay coming up, whatever.
Right.
And so it really comes to you as an individual. Go get it, because it's out there. People want to talk.
Right.
But it's not going to come to you. It's like if you want to do charity work, go find charity work to do. It's not going to knock on your door. So, Glenn, ask your question. Tell me something I don't know.
I was really hoping you would go first so I would have a chance to think about something that...
You know what? I don't like when you whine, man. It's really unappealing.
But it's my move, man.
It's a really bad move. No wonder in high school you didn't date anybody. That's a bad move.
Hey, I never said that. I totally dated
someone. Oh, I'm sorry.
Fact,
I assumed.
Anthony, I will tell you something you don't know. Right here, right now. When I was in 10th grade, I dated a senior. That's right. I was able to convince some foolish girl who was 2 years older than me to hang out with me. That is something you don't know.
So you had a lot of money, huh?
All right. No, I had a lot of great personality.
What happened?
I don't know. She rejected me. That was it for my personality.
So I'll tell you something you don't know.
Yeah.
I was in Albania, and I'm in a meeting, and it was so funny. I'm in this tech office, brand new building, about an hour out from the airport in Tirana, and just really nice offices. 23 coders in the room. These young, vibrant, smart Albanian students, and I was just excited to be part of this company and to be around all these people. And one of the co-founders, very very smart guy, one of the smartest tech guys in all of Albania.
Right.
I asked him a question. I said, "Can we accomplish this?" And he started to make the motion, no, like with your head going side to side. And I was like, and I immediately, like, I met the guy maybe 3 minutes. I was like, why? What are you talking about? Like, I thought it was an easy thing.
Right.
And he was going to say yes. And he goes, no, relax. We can do it. We can do it. And I'm like, why do you keep shaking your head no?
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm saying yes. Then why are you shaking your head side to side? He goes, in Albania, that's yes.
Oh, come on.
Up and down, it's no. Swear to God, bro. It blew my mind.
That is something I don't know. I thought that was like universal. Like all humans did yes and no the way we do.
It got me like 7 times that day. Because they were talking to me and they're shaking their head back and forth. And I'm like, dude, why can't you do this? It seems so easy. And he's like, Anthony, it's yes. And he tried to do better. But like it's just,
you can't change when it's programmed into
your DNA like wild? That. Yes is no and no is yes.
Wow. All right. I just wish my marriage was like that.
So tell me something about your marriage I don't know. No, I actually don't. I don't want to know. Tell me something we don't know, Glenn.
I did. I told you about the senior. I thought that was pretty good.
I'm not letting you off the hook, brother.
I really thought that was good. All right, tell you something I don't know. I am $30 away from achieving diamond status now on Delta Airlines, so I'm super stoked about that.
Diamond?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm having trouble getting to platinum this year.
But I'm also super scared about it at the same time because once you achieve diamond status, you got to maintain that diamond status. 1 year, I went from diamond status down to gold status, and I went from being a hero to
0.
Yeah, why are you here, dude? We don't care. About
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you travel? Because I travel a lot too. Do you travel that much that you have diamond status, or you're spending a lot on your credit card?
No, I actually, in order to achieve diamond status through the credit card that I have in the airline that I fly, they changed it from needing to spend something like $50,000 in the year to $250,000 to get away from the dollar spend. I just happened to have a crazy travel schedule this year that had a whole lot of international travel, including one flight that somebody paid for me to have business class. So all of that's added up to me getting diamond status.
Well, I'm doing something wrong.
And the impossibility of me achieving it next year is very real. And it's scarier than the new Halloween movie.
Yeah, I've been trying. That's funny. I've been trying to get diamond status for a couple of years now. But I fly so much, but it's always business class, which is great because it gets you the points. Yeah. But it's always on somebody else's dime, so it's usually the airline of their choice.
Right.
Even though I say I'd like to fly Delta or whatever airline, and typically my schedule's such where I just have to get the airline that I have to get.
That's right.
And I was just recently flying Norwegian. Mm-hmm. Norwegian?
Yeah.
Yeah, airline in business class. Mm-hmm. I thought that was going to be a special moment, but it wasn't. It was like the Spirit airline of international travel. But then I flew back on Turkish Airlines, and it was okay. With the business travel,
I've heard great things
for
about Turkish
Norwegian
Airlines.
wasn't bad. It wasn't as bad as people made it out to be. It was pretty good. But Turkish Airlines on the way back was really nice. It was really comfortable. But I'm not getting diamond status this year. I'll be lucky if I get platinum status because I'm flying so many different airlines.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about the diamond status, and I just don't feel I deserve it.
Really? Oh my God! I got to get you into deep therapy. In your mind, you don't deserve any happiness, Glenn.
I know. It's so strange. I'm afraid that if I achieve it, it's all going to fall apart on me.
I don't know, man. I think you and I just see the whole world differently. I think we got to end this podcast.
I think we do too. All right. We'll be back next week unless I decide to end it all from the deep depression of achieving diamond status. For Anthony and Glenn, thanks for checking in.
It's Checking In with Anthony and Glenn, teaching you to be the hotelier that you wanna be. It's Checking In with Anthony and Glenn.